Now, from the Columbia Basin, your local news source, this is iFIBER 1 News, presented in high definition. The #1 source for real-time local news, local sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. With your iFIBER 1 News team, reporting news in real time as it's happening. From the iFIBER Communications HD broadcast studio in Ephrata, Washington, this is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
Welcome to iFIBER 1 News. I'm Cody Johnson with news from around the Columbia Basin for Wednesday, April 24th. Tonight we report on how the state is preparing to help people using the Odessa Sub Aquifer and how Moses Lake is moving forward with a bicycle helmet ordinance. We also look at what is causing all of the commotion near I-90 in Moses Lake and how Oregon is trying to find a solution to problem cougars. In sports, we look at the outstanding performance of an Ephrata Tiger and preparations for the NFL draft. Our spotlight story tonight is about a drive-through food stand that offers something other than coffee. And we have the latest weather forecast for the Columbia Basin from the iFIBER 1 Weather Center. Our top story tonight, the state is poised to help farmers facing declining water supplies in the Odessa Sub Aquifer. The state Senate and House capital budgets both authorized spending a portion of the $200 million in bonds for a plan to bring irrigation water to about 70,000 acres of land north and south of Interstate 90 between Moses Lake and Ritzville. Representative Judy Warnick is the ranking Republican on the House Capital Budget Committee, and she said the House and Senate are presently working on an amount for the budget. The Senate allocated about $74 million, while the House allocated about $40 million. The final amount will be determined by the outcome of the state's operating budget. Moses Lake children will need to wear a helmet if they're riding a bike. The City Council approved the first reading of an ordinance requiring children 16 and younger to wear a helmet if they're riding a bicycle. The council will read it a second time and vote once more before it becomes an ordinance. The proposal requires parents, bicycle-related event organizers, and people renting bicycles or electric-assisted bicycles to make sure children are wearing helmets. Any person violating the proposed ordinance could be facing a $25 fine. Grant County Health District Administrator Jeff Ketchel spoke in favor of the proposal, saying head injuries cost the entire community. Councilmember Karen Liebrecht was the only opposition, saying she agrees with a lot of what was said, but had concerns about parents' rights and enforcement. It's hard to miss all the commotion going on at North Frontage Road. It looks like the circus has come to town. Here with the story is Ryan Lancaster.
It took a big crew to raise the big top in Moses Lake this week. Workers on Wednesday were busy putting the finishing touches on the space that for the next 4 days will be the home of the El Catif Shriners Circus. Moses Lake resident Hal Groover has been with the Shriners for the past 22 years. He said the traveling show is one of the largest in the Northwest.
This year we have tigers there, and we'll have the largest tiger show in the United States this year.
Every year, El Catif puts on the circus as a fundraiser in Spokane, the Tri-Cities, and Moses Lake.
Our basic motto is Shriners Help Kids, and this is one of the deals that we do to raise funds to help kids.
While Groover wasn't exactly sure how many people it takes to set up the traveling show, he did know it takes a fair amount of manpower.
A lot. It takes a lot of people to put it up and take it down, but it's mainly family. They're all experienced at it real well. And they get in, they do the job, and they put it up. This piece behind us that's on the ground is the entrance. The main tent went up last night.
Last year, the circus was set up in the former Kmart parking lot off Stratford Road. Groover said the new location on North Frontage will serve as a more lasting home for the Big Top.
Dave Sparks owns the property, and he donated this to us and said we could be here every year.
The circus takes place Thursday through Sunday, April 25th through 28th. Times and ticket information is available at elcatif.org or by calling 509-624-2762.
And they take it down in one day, They're on to the next show. When they leave here now, they'll take it down on Sunday night and Monday, and they will be in Pasco, putting on the same show for the Shriners down there.
For iFIBER 1 News, this is Ryan Lancaster reporting with Spencer Graham.
My kids have threatened to run away and join the circus. This could be my opportunity. Their opportunity. A march to recognize the victims of sexual assault is taking place Friday in Moses Lake. The march begins at 4 p.m. starting out from the Moses Lake Police Department at 411 South Balsam Street. From there, participants will walk to Sinkayou Square, where 151 balloons will be launched to signify the number of survivors of sexual assault in the Moses Lake area last year. A special program to honor the survivors will begin at 4:30 p.m. in the square. The event is part of a Sexual Assault Awareness Month and is sponsored by New Hope Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault Services. For more information, you can call 509-764-8402. Each of the people you see here have warrants for their arrest and are wanted by various law enforcement agencies. If you see any of these people, the DOC asks you not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but to call police. You can also call the Department of Corrections at 509-764-6180 during the day or 509-762-1160 after 5 p.m. We'll be right back after these messages with the latest weather forecast for the Columbia Basin from the iFIBER 1 Weather Center. And we've got sports and more news on the way.